Okay, so welcome to episode 1 of Nerding Out with NerdVsWorld.
Awesome. Is that what we're calling it?
I think I just made it up on the fly. I think that kind of works.
That works.
That worked the title in Sainsbury's on a little walk around before the show.
Yeah. Was it that was going to end up Nerdycast or something like that?
Yeah, Nerdycast or Fisting with AD was one of the options, but I think we've gone for the So I'd just like to just introduce my co-host for today. We've got AD and Swindles from the Eclectic Podcast.
Hello.
Hola.
Basically, for NerdVsWorld, we've left behind the video format for reasons which I blogged about. Essentially, the 3-day production turnaround meant that by the time I got the news to air, it had already been on Facebook and Twitter for like 3 or 4 days. So it was already out of date.
Yeah.
And what I felt was missing in terms of the rise of nerd culture on the internet is opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I thought, what better? We just get some beers, get some pizzas, and just nerd out for a bit.
More beer.
Yeah, and tape it and see how it goes.
Yeah, so I mean, for our part, we'd obviously done the Sign 80s Eclectic Technicolor podcast of Awesome for a while, which I still can't fucking say
Wonky
properly.
Cast is easy.
On Wonky Casts, yeah. And we'd done a couple of those, and then we invited Brendan down for one, which we never managed to get edited together due to the fact that I got horrendously drunk and started shouting over people a lot.
We got massively drunk at that podcast.
I think everybody got drunk and there was far too many people
We had about 15 people in the one room, which on a podcast is just completely
with
unusable.
one microphone. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty mental.
Yeah, so this is a heck of a step up in production value from my living room.
I'm kind of glad in a way that didn't get to work. I think I remember saying that I would give April O'Neil one in that episode.
You did, yes.
Yeah,
I think I said I'd wreck April O'Neil.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stand by that, by the way.
Well, yeah, as you've now repeated it when not drunk.
Are you talking about the 94 film version or are you talking about the cartoon?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it really matters. I wonder,
Thought of.
talking of April O'Neil and the Turtles, they are pushing ahead with this fucking reboot,
Yeah,
and it is Michael Bay.
yeah, Michael Bay ruining yet more childhoods.
Yeah,
And is this going to be the live action version?
it is, and they're going to be aliens rather than mutants.
Yeah, they're not
Yes.
turtles, and they don't eat pizza, and they don't say cowabunga. It's just
They
not
say,
the
what do they say?
same. Yeah, I've seen it. I can't
It's
remember. What it is
one
now.
of Ali G's catchphrases, isn't it?
Boyaka Shah
Boyaka Shah.
is what they
Oh,
say
no.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their new catchphrase.
I suppose Cowabunga was a old, late 80s.
Dude, cowabunga was never in as a term.
Yes, it was. You just weren't in with the surf dudes.
The surf dude
The
said
surf dudes.
cowabunga.
The surf dudes and the Ninja Turtles. That was the Venn diagram of cowabunga as a word.
There were stoner surfers.
It's true. It's true. It's
Yeah.
very
That's
true.
where they got the whole ethos from the Turtles from. Is there a bunch of pizza eating stoners that love to do like extreme sports?
That would make a much
Yeah,
better
no,
film.
put it that way. Yeah, that would work.
Oh, dude, it's Point Break.
Yeah,
meets-
Point Break with ninjas.
Point Break
yeah.
with
Yeah.
ninjas. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that
I would watch that film.
There you go.
I'd watch that in a heartbeat. I think I spoke vociferously against Michael Bay on one of my episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a campaign to stop him. I
Yeah.
think.
It's
Oh, God,
along the
Michael
lines
Bay.
of stopping Uwe Boll from making any game-related movies.
Yeah.
Or just any games.
Games?
Yeah.
Uwe Boll makes games.
No, but it'd be awful if you did.
Ah, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
that was a bit too oblique there. my head was working.
That's a weird
for my
inwardly
mouth.
turning universe where he makes the games and then he makes a movie adaptation of the game. No, that's just wrong.
I think the less we say about the Turtles or even mention it in future is probably for the
Yeah,
best.
that's fine. Yeah, let's ignore its existence. Happy with that. But as we're on movies, we might as well.
You might as well look at this epic list that I'm going to produce to you,
Epic list.
Philip
epic list of,
Schofield style.
Yeah, next year's.
In fact, actually, that's 2013's list of
yeah.
films.
So we've got last year's.
We've got last year's to
Gap of
talk about.
Cinescope.
In your opinion, best film of 2012?
Well, The Avengers was awesome,
It was. Yeah.
but then again, The Hobbit was also awesome.
Yeah.
So I don't know because
Did it just get into release before the end of 2012?
The
Yeah,
Hobbit,
it was
it was
right.
released mid-December.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure that UK release date
Yeah,
got in
'cause it's-
just before.
yeah,
I think it was
it's-
13th of December.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
it got
yeah.
released.
Because it's in the Oscar lineups,
Yeah.
but just for technical categories, which irks me.
Yeah.
Same as Avengers, only technical categories.
Yeah. That's a completely another story. I think.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Oscars continually snubbing fantasy and sci-fi films.
Not happy with the Oscar nominations at all.
How could they not get any nominations for anything else?
Well, I think what will happen there is they'll do what they did with the original trilogy.
And they'll give it to the third film.
The third film will get it all.
But that's such a cop-out.
Yeah, it really is.
It is.
But even though I think I've got to say Avengers for me is the best film of 2012.
I'd say those two. I think there was a period of time where I was pretty much continually watching the Avengers because when I went to Florida it was on all the planes going over and back. I think I watched it twice on both flights.
Yeah.
I think I remember when you came back from that, it was like one of the first things that you did was go, I can't believe how cleverly they've put that in there of how they can get away with it. That's just freaking awesome of cleverly written script.
Yes, the dialogue choices in Avengers. Yeah.
It's what you expect from Joss Whedon, though.
Yeah.
And if it's the particular reference to the insult that Loki chucks out, that's not the first time Whedon snuck that into a script.
No, I imagine not.
He snuck it into a Firefly episode.
Yeah.
The message when the agent is checking the post office where Mal picks up the coffin.
Yeah.
He calls the man there a quim.
Yeah.
Children, again, if you're not sure what that word is, go and ask your folks.
But yeah, I think it's kind of like what Lie to Me did, because Lie to Me did that as well by just using lots of blatantly English swear words that Americans wouldn't have a clue what they meant. Just the swearing from Tim Roth just got worse and worse and worse towards the end of that series.
Bless him.
But I think for me, Avengers or The Hobbit, I think Avengers probably comes out on top just purely because there were things about The Hobbit I wasn't that happy with. I thought there were far too many kind of like near miss moments in the action. It was too kind of cartoony at points when, the kind of falling cliffs where they all fall down and they get wedged on the big platform between the two cliffs. That was all just a bit too much for me.
Yeah.
It was.
Bilbo falling like 300 feet and coming away with like a little scratch.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that I just wasn't happy with.
Yeah, it was a bit too action movie based rather than it being story based.
Yeah.
They just threw it in there because we've got the technology, we can do this, it'll be really cool. No.
But there was the obvious standout, Andy Serkis, which that
Absolutely.
Riddles in the Dark that was just stunning.
Yeah, that was the best scene in the movie for me. Like,
absolutely.
Two scenes, that scene and when they sing the song Lonely Mountain.
Yeah.
Those two moments were absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
But for me, making the decision, it came down to if I had a night off and I had all those films from the year on Blu-ray, which one would I watch again and again? And for me, it's The Avengers. It's The Avengers or The Outsider, Cabin in the Woods.
I've still not seen Cabin in the Woods.
I loved Cabin in the Woods. That was a really good film. Dark Knight Rises is in there as well, but
Dark Knight Rises was good, but I think that Avengers, just because the build-up to it had just been so well executed, and then the film just paid it off utterly.
Yeah. I think for me, after Dark Knight, it kind of got a bit boring, and everybody gone, this Batman thing's been done to death now.
Yeah.
I think they could have... Bane, I wasn't too impressed with the characterisation of Bane, to be honest.
I thought he was okay.
He was.
I thought he was always going to struggle as a villain.
Yeah.
In a film after Heath Ledger's Joker.
Yeah.
And I still think Dark Knight is the best of the three.
Easily. Yes. Yeah, easily.
No, that goes back to what I was saying. It's like, after that,
I do like Batman Begins just for Cillian Murphy. Like Cillian Murphy's The Scarecrow was just amazing. I love that he was in all the others as well, even just in cameo parts. But he was brilliant. But
there's always there was the rumour as well that Cillian Murphy's part in Dark Knight Rises was meant to be the Joker's part.
All right.
If Heath Ledger had been alive, he would have played that role. But then there's other rumours that say that he was literally just going to be featured in the Arkham Breakout.
Yeah.
And nothing else. But
any other movie highlights last year? Struggling to think of anything that I thought was really good.
Or lowlights?
Well, I liked Looper. I thought Looper was pretty
Looper
good.
Yet either. No. The guy who wrote Looper, he's up for writing something else now, isn't he? Or directing something else?
Is he?
I read something on Digital Spy about the guy who did Looper today. I don't know where it was now. It might have been a connection to the new Star Wars.
Every one of their dog has been connected to the new Star Wars.
But every man and his dog has been associated with it and then gone, actually no, I wouldn't touch it with a barge pole.
I think it's a real poison chalice as the new Star Wars.
Absolutely, yeah.
You've got to have balls of steel to take that one.
Well, I mean, the guy who's writing it, Toy Story 3, is excellent as a film. It works on a kid and a grown-up level, which is what the original Star Wars did.
Yeah.
So I think that they've picked the right person for writing it, in my opinion. But as for the direction and where they go with it, it remains to be seen. So I had my initial knee-jerk reaction about it, which was, oh, Disney, rah, rah. But thinking about it, what they've done with the Marvel properties.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Disney have kind of got the sort of 7 to 13-year-old girl market pretty well covered. They need properties for the same male demographic.
They had Cars, which was all right, but it's only so far you can take that as a concept. But I mean, they've got Marvel now. They've got Star Wars, which are the two really big kind of.
Boy. That they're aiming at. They're trying to aim, like you were saying, across the board rather than it being at a set structure. This is aimed at 6 to 14-year-old girls. This is aimed at 6 to 14-year-old boys. This is aimed a little bit at adults so they can watch it with their kids. It's like, no, they want to aim it at everybody.
Well, I think the Avengers and all the Marvel properties have been pitched at the right level.
Yeah.
And I think if they do the same with the Star Wars properties, then it'll be fine.
Yeah. I think the issue for a lot of people is that they don't destroy the existing post Jedi canon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff already written post Jedi.
Yeah.
If they make the stories fit into that universe rather than change that universe for the stories, I think they'll have to win the fans over.
Yeah.
I can't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, that's scheduled for
2015. I think is episode 7 is due for.
That's really interesting.
So they've got 2 years.
Who would your pick be to direct it if you had the choice?
See, I think someone like Zack Snyder would do a good job.
I don't know.
But he might be a bit over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because Zack Snyder did awesome at Watchmen. That's an amazing film.
I think he would be very heavy on the sort of darker side of stuff, the more destructive side of the Force, as it were. It'd be more sort of deathy, hangy. That's just a darker version of it to me.
Plus, he's back doing his oiled gladiators again. So
yeah,
so 300 Rise of an Empire.
Bit too busy being surrounded by glittering man flesh.
But he loves the blood and the man boobs. So,
So I think Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
I think that'd be an interesting pick.
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
If you could pick anyone, you would. But
But
that would just
Disney. That would just be like 2 stormtroopers sat with a double headshot having a conversation for the entire film,
and a big bag of weed in a ready box.
I would watch that movie so hard. I really would.
You could almost say it's like it'd be an offshoot of like what happened to the box that they pulled out of the cargo hold of the Millennium Falcon. It's just like full of like Jabba the Hutt's best weed. And there's a couple of stormtroopers sat there going, I can do a bong out of your helmet.
What was TK421 doing when he wasn't at his post?
Yeah.
Yes.
Getting high.
And I go,
So who would your pick be, other than Kevin Smith?
I'm not a massive directorial follower, so I can't really say 100% on things like that. I will go, oh, that's a really cool film, who did the directing of it, rather than going, I know what that person's a really good director in that kind of genre, they're really good at that. But so as long as it's kept true to the fan base and to the already pre-written stuff, then yeah, I think I'll agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised by my reaction to the whole thing. I think anyone who follows me on Twitter or on Facebook knows that I have a tendency to rage, and I didn't rage about it. I was just like, chili beans. They did all right by Marvel.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to it. Plus, I waited years for a Star Wars film to be released in a generation where I could watch it at the cinema, and I got The Phantom Menace. So I want another chance of that. And Episode 7 should do that for me.
A real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I got taken to see Empire at the cinema when I was like 2, and I definitely remember going to see Return of the Jedi at the cinema. But then I remember when I was at university in Lancaster, they did a day where they just showed all 3 of them back to back in the cinema, and that was awesome. Amazing. And that was the originals, not the special editions.
That would have been amazing.
That was very cool.
I wish they'd re-released them. I mean, they're re-showing Episode 2 and 3 at the end of this year. I wish they'd do 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
The original cuts, not
Yeah.
the remastered.
Well, that's it. I mean, I've got the theatrical cuts on the DVDs because that's why I waited specifically for those ones to come out and got the ones with the bonus disc was the theatrical editions, and we sat and watched that for my 30th.
Nice.
Watched all 6 Star Wars movies in a row plus the Clone Wars.
Brilliant.
In a Darth
Brilliant.
Vader outfit.
I was only in the Darth Vader outfit for half the day.
Well, yeah, because obviously you can't have Darth
Lightweight.
Vader during Phantom Menace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So at the point where you swap onto episode 4, crack out the Darth Vader kit.
Yeah. We were going to print out a load of Ewok masks for Return of the Jedi and just like wait for you to go for a piss and then come back down and all sat with Ewok faces on, but
That was not bloody.
Genuinely curious here. When you watched them in order, what order did you watch them?
We watched them in episode order.
So 1, 3 to 6.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, so my preference would have probably been to watch it in the order of release, but to be fair, I'd have got to the end of Jedi and called it a day.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I think I would as well.
So we kind of did it in the this was how George Lucas intended it in inverted commas.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm not going to sit and badmouth Star Wars again. Anyone who knows me knows that I rant about it enough.
Fair enough.
So, anything else? 2012?
Well, just one very definite low light for me, I think.
Yeah.
And that has to be Prometheus.
Yeah, I mean, I was really looking forward to seeing it, and to be honest, I didn't see it in the cinema. But by the sounds of it, I didn't lose anything by not seeing it in the cinema. And it was all right.
But it should have been amazing.
It should have been amazing, yeah. Well, as we were saying earlier on, the fact they tried to distance it so much from the Alien franchise, I still don't get why they did that.
Yeah.
I don't understand the rationale behind saying it's not a prequel, it's in the same universe.
But the original script was called Alien Engineers. The script before it went to Lindelof for his changes. And that script set it in the same place. So at LV-46, and it ended with the derelict we know from Alien crashing on that planet. And that would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
I think what really irks me about the film more than anything else is how it purported to be intelligent science fiction, but all the exposition was... You were spoon-fed it.
Yeah.
You were spoon-fed all the things. There was no intelligence to it. And that kind of pissed me off, I think. Just being made to feel dumb.
Yeah. I think that the plot was kind of lacking. I mean, some of the performances were fine. I mean,
Fassbender was
Fassbender
great.
was awesome,
Yeah.
and Noomi Rapace as well was great. But yeah, I think just it was let down by the script.
Yeah, I kind of feel that Ridley Scott managed to Phantom Menace his own franchise with it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Although it was planned to
I love how you can use that as a verb.
Yeah. Okay, I think I probably laid the Ghost of Prometheus to rest for now.
I thought it was smart, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's gone, it's done.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move past that. I think I've been set on that for about half a year now, I think. Yeah.
That's enough bitterness now. So. Says me, who still can't forgive Phantom Menace. But
So what's coming up that's sweet?
so, 2013, sir.
2013. Well, I started making a list of films, and then my hand got tired, so I stopped because I filled a page. But there's some really good films coming out. Of particular interest that I'm looking forward to, aside from Star Trek 2 Into Darkness, which is just going to...
That's going to
Be
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm really looking forward to Elysium. That's the Neil Blomkamp science fiction film
Yes.
with the
Yeah,
Earth,
yeah,
which is essentially a garbage pit,
Yeah.
and a floating space station. It's one man is kind of forced into trying to make things better up on the space station. So there's that. What else? Anchorman. That's back. The legend continues.
I
Not
can't
an Anchorman
stand
fan.
Will Ferrell.
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah,
Really
Anchorman
can't
was just
stand
shit.
him.
Oh my god.
No,
Yeah.
Fair enough. We're going to brush right past that
There's,
one.
only,
then.
there's
Yeah.
only one film that Will Ferrell has done that I didn't mind him in, and that was one called Stranger Than Fiction, which was him and Emma Thompson. And Emma Thompson was a novelist, and she was writing a book, and it turned out
Yes.
to be his life. And
Yes.
that was really quite an interesting film, and he wasn't mugging all the way through it, which is the thing that I hate about
Okay.
him. I mean, for my opinion, he almost ruined Jane Silent Bob Strikes Back just by his presence. But,
Fair enough.
sorry,
Okay.
not a Will Ferrell fan. So.
And moving on.
Fortunately, you have a lot of choice though, so it's okay. Much ado about nothing.
Yeah, very much looking forward to this. It's yet another Joss Whedon, here's what I did with my mates thing.
But has it got like Richard E. Grant in it or something like that? You know?
Well, it's not Richard E. Grant, but I mean, it's all the usual suspects from the Whedon-verse are all in there.
No, it's just that it's the same crowd kind of seem to do those things over and over and over again, and it's like
true, yeah, but like, not with Joss Whedon at the helm. No. They don't.
No, yeah, that's what I was going to lead on to. Is like no. You've got all those over and over, and it's like, weren't they somebody in that, and weren't they in that?
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover, but yeah, I mean, as well as that, there's supposed to be another Dr. Horrible on the cards as well.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
well, that'd be cool.
That would be great because the first round of Dr. Horrible was amazing.
Yeah, that would be awesome. What are people's feelings about Man of Steel?
I'm quite looking forward to it. Yeah, because I mean, I really enjoyed the last Superman that came out, the Superman Returns.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on that.
So, yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was nice that they basically tried to ignore Superman 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Good shout.
And I quite enjoyed that. Again, I think it could have been a bit better, but I have high hopes for Man of Steel. Do you know what their plans are in terms of whether they're linking this up with the kind of proposed Justice League or?
I think it's meant to be essentially the Superman character in this will be the same Superman from Justice League.
Right, okay. So we're looking like Justice League shaping up to be this guy, and are we still looking at...
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
No, not Joseph... Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'm thinking is going to be Nightwing, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we're going anywhere near that. But no, Green Lantern.
Ryan
Reynolds.
God, I actually...
Ryan Reynolds?
Well, he's...
No. I saw something recently. It won't be Ryan Reynolds, but it will be that interpretation of Green Lantern.
Right, okay.
Which...
That's because Ryan Reynolds supposedly Deadpooling.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd watch that.
Yeah, who wouldn't?
Who wouldn't watch Deadpool? Yeah, I'd watch Deadpool film.
Absolutely.
Did you read Marvel kills Deadpool
I've
kills the
still
Marvel
not read
Universe?
that yet, no.
Okay.
Because I have to get around to reading it because Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe is one of my favourite books of all time, so I think Deadpool doing it would be just cool. Hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, and it is. See, I'm not sold on Justice League. I really want it to work.
I really want it to work, but I just don't. I think that the DC
working.
film universe is too disparate.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think this is kind of...
And what, they're going to get the Dark Knight Rises mixed
Well, they're
in
not
with
because
that.
they've got to reboot Batman again.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Work.
They can't chuck in Batman Rises, chuck that into that.
No.
It just wouldn't work because he'd end up fucking stabbing them or something.
Yeah, well, the reboot of Batman's meant to be planned for 2016, something I read. DC recently, the last couple of days, brought up 15 different domain names all around Batman and Dark Knight and Arkham Asylum. So there's now rumours going around that the Batman reboot will be based on the Arkham Asylum game.
All right, okay.
So,
interesting. We had a big screen Harley Quinn.
Absolutely. Bastard, you beat me to it. I was like, yeah, 6 foot, 9 Harley legs.
Can we all just take a moment to imagine a 6 foot Harley Quinn?
No, that's just the legs.
Yeah. Yeah. I just think that for the Justice League movie to work, they should have started working on it sooner.
Yeah, I think so. I think there were too many films that had come out that were that the characters should be in the Justice League, and they were doing independent standalone movies and didn't have that kind of cohesive plan that the Avengers had.
Yeah, indeed.
So, and I think coming at it now, they're too late to put that plan into fruition.
Especially if they're still set on releasing the Justice League movie in 2015 to challenge Avengers 2.
Indeed.
Because we still haven't got any word on a Flash movie.
No.
Or a Wonder Woman film.
Well, Wonder Woman, I don't think is going to happen. There was talk of a Wonder Woman TV series, but I think that pilot got canned as well.
Yeah.
It did, yes.
Well, wasn't Joss Whedon involved in that?
I don't know.
Was
whether
it?
Joss Whedon
Or was it
involved
just
in that.
some other people from the Whedon universe? Were
Yeah,
involved?
I think it was some other people from the Whedonverse were in that. But that got canned. So I don't know. I think it just seems too difficult to pull it together.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen any of the original Flash movies?
Yeah.
The Flash 2 Revenge of the Trickster with Mark Hamill as the Trickster.
I've not seen that.
Oh, mate, you've got to watch
How
it.
I not watch that?
It's
Okay.
brilliant.
Was that not the inspiration for
For the Joker, yeah.
Well, not for, just so much for the Joker, but for the what the hell was it called in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
Yeah,
Cock knocker. Yeah. The inspiration for the cock knocker was
Absolutely.
from that. Yes,
Yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
very similar.
Yeah, so Mark
Smack.
Hamill's very funny in that.
Yes.
Well, he's actually very, very good.
Yeah, no, he's brilliant.
I
Yeah.
think his Joker
Yeah.
is an awesome Joker.
Indeed, that's why that keeps getting quoted as being the best Joker.
Yeah.
Which I agree with. Yeah, I think when you look at it, a lot of Heath Ledger's take on the
Yeah.
Joker had a lot of Mark Hamill's Joker in there.
Yeah. But yeah, like we said, we've got loads of choice. The World's End, for example. That is the Simon Pegg flick.
Ah,
the
yes,
Edgar Wright. It's
yes,
the
yes.
final part of the
Cornetto
Cornetto
trilogy.
I was going to say, wasn't that bloody Pirates of the Caribbean?
That's not Pirates of the
I
Caribbean.
know.
Every time someone brings up Pirates of the Caribbean, I'm forced to remember that was also Disney.
Yes.
And my Star Wars Disney strength kind of wavers a little bit.
Apart from the fourth Pirates movie. That was a bit sucky.
Yeah.
No, the other day when we went to see The Hobbit, the one thing that got me was the Pacific Rim trailer.
Yes.
Just how awesome was it just to hear GLaDOS halfway through it?
Yeah, but I read somewhere this week that they're talking about scaling back her voice.
Oh
I
no!
was like, no,
Don't do
no,
it.
don't. That's we love hearing Gladys.
It was
It's
absolute
awesome.
genius.
The 12th of July cannot come soon enough.
Indeed, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Really?
Charlie Hunnam's great as well. I'm big fan of Sons of Anarchy.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, but it looked,
Yes.
it looked a bit.
It looks a bit cheesy.
Yeah,
giant robots fighting giant monsters. But that's what sci-fi is, man.
I know, but it looked a bit crap.
Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. You know?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
But it just looks like the sort of film that you could just watch and enjoy.
Yeah.
No need to worry about a sequel. No need to worry about a bigger backstory or a graphic novel that you've missed out on. Just a film that you can just go and chill the fuck out
Giant
and watch.
monsters, giant
Yeah.
machines.
So yeah, that's definitely one of my highlights. For
Yeah,
the coming year. It's
I'm
one of
really
my
looking forward
picks.
to it.
Yeah.
Just the moment that I heard GLaDOS in the trailer, I
It
was
reminds
like,
me
oh
of
my
Crash
God.
and Burn a little bit. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It just smacked a little bit of that.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, we got a ton of sequels coming up next year, haven't we?
Well, we've got more in the Phase 2 continuity from Marvel, so Iron Man 3 and Thor 2.
Thor 2, yeah.
Yeah, Iron Man
Thor
3
2, still
was pretty
Thor.
cool. Yeah. Thor's son.
Still
Son of Thor. No.
And the Wolverine, which is being listed as
Yeah.
X-Men Origins Wolverine 2, The
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Because from what I've seen, they haven't done any trailers, but little bits that have. It looks very much like almost like the X-Men Origins manga style, the Japanese version.
The Wolverine manga.
Yes,
Yeah,
it actually, some of it, from what I can gather, is actually looking like they're pulling straws out of that.
Sure. Yeah, it might be interesting. Well, yeah, to be honest, it can't be any worse than the first Wolverine Origin. So,
And is that still starring the same guy?
Hugh Jackman.
yeah, it's Hugh Jackman. Yeah,
It is Hugh Jackman.
and that's
okay.
why Deadpool came in.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's meant to be set after X-Men 3 Last Stand as well.
Yes, it's supposed to be.
in
Yeah,
the same continuity.
There's
Interesting.
one of the X-Men will be turning up, and we don't know which one yet.
Whether it be male or female.
Indeed, yeah,
And for continuity, it's probably going to be Rogue.
Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
probably.
It's probably going to be Rogue, and then they'll try and see if they can tie those in for X-Men First Class 2,
Part 2,
Days of
yeah.
Future Past,
Yeah.
Yes.
which will need to have Wolverine and Rogue in it.
Yes, indeed.
Exactly. So hunking back to your Man of Steel thing, and I'm like, bringing the Justice League stuff. Are they gonna? They've still got these Smallville spin-off things going on.
Well, they've got Arrow, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Well,
yeah.
Arrow's not a Smallville spin-off; it's its own show.
It's a DC spin-off.
Yes, it is, but I mean, he was in the tail end of Smallville,
Yeah.
and they go, "Ooh,
And it's
people
on the
like
same
that
network.
character.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do that character independently."
Yeah.
Yeah, with a different actor though.
It's very good, though. I like Arrow.
Yeah,
I think
but
it's really good.
on those lines, are they going to end up? Is there going to be a TV show like Little League, of Justice, and it's going to be all the little kids get together? It's
Well,
like
I mean, there's going to
Batman
be
before he's Batman.
You're getting all the
Well,
spin-off TV
yeah.
shows from
Yeah.
films now.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, what they said at Comic-Con last year in terms of DC was that they were going to try and build the Justice League around all their franchises. So not just film, but they're going to look at game,
Yeah.
TV,
yeah.
and their cartoon films as well. And they were going to use those to build the Justice League universe.
Mm-hmm.
So Arrow's part of that strategy. And the next Batman Arkham Asylum game is meant to be set sort of back in the 60s, where Batman and Super's first meet in terms of the Justice League mythology. I still don't think it's good enough to sort of compete with Marvel's Avenger.
It's
continuity.
going to take them a long time to tie all those loose ends up.
Absolutely.
Speaking of
They really
TV spin-offs,
Oh yeah, I see what you did there. I like a little segue. Straight into Shield.
absolutely.
That is going to be the mother of all TV shows.
Looking at
I hope
fall
so.
this year, fall
Yeah.
season,
I fucking hope
2013.
The
It's not long, guys.
pilots being fast tracked.
Yeah.
They're already pretty confident it's going to get picked up as
Well,
well.
apparently he's been writing scripts before it even got
Yeah.
picked up for a pilot. So yeah, I mean it's happening. But I don't know. My again
I
knee-jerk
read he's
reaction on
already
this
written
one.
the first
Agent
season.
Coulson. How are they going around this?
Okay, that's
Because he's in the TV show.
yeah.
He is.
He's in the
yes.
TV show, and the
Same
TV show is set post the Battle of New York, so
Yeah,
it
it
is.
follows on from Avengers.
And it's there to beef out S.H.I.E.L.D. for the next round of
Yeah,
Yes.
Avengers movies. So,
So,
how are they getting away with Agent Coulson?
I don't think he'll be a roaming character. I think he might be constrained as a hologram to work within the helicarrier.
Now, there's a
Okay.
possibility.
Yeah.
He will be a hologram or a construct, something confined to the Shield sort of base operations, either the helicarrier or
Possibility.
the
yeah.
ground base. That's what I think. But then it's a film.
Yeah.
It's a TV show with
show, yeah.
superpowers, so
Yeah.
anything can happen.
Yeah, well, because that's it is, they could go down the he didn't really die route, or
Yeah.
like,
But I think he'd have to be careful, because if Joss Whedon allowed Coulson to be brought back this way after being stabbed through the chest,
yeah,
there'd be everyone clamouring for, well, do the same for Wash.
yeah, indeed,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I would be chief amongst them.
yeah,
But yeah, I think as well what I read this week, I think Geeky Girls Who Love Sci-Fi, their blog, they tied up all the S.H.I.E.L.D. news into one blog post,
Right.
which is really good, because I was just getting bombarded all over the place with different S.H.I.E.L.D. news. Apparently it's going to focus on the humans.
yes,
Not the
yeah, yeah.
supers, it's going to look at everyday mundane.
Apparently, there's going to be some on the peripherals, but the
Yeah.
low levels, not the kind of big
So they're
names.
going to focus a lot on Black Widow and the likes then.
Well, actually, I don't even know if they're going to be
Or-
focusing on Black Widow
No.
and Hawkeye, because again, they're just they are humans, but they're big names.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's going to be even lesser characters
Yeah, it's
than those.
It's going to be the rank and file, essentially.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
okay. I see.
What it sounds like is it's effectively going to be a procedural,
Yeah.
a crime procedural show.
I'm okay with that.
I'm very happy with
Very
that. I think
happy
that'd be
with that.
interesting.
And with Nick Fury, allegedly, Samuel L. Jackson has said that he would see himself at least doing a sort of Charlie role from Charlie's
Yeah,
Angels.
well, he's got to at least be in the pilot.
Yeah. And he's up for it.
Yeah, yeah. You've got to get a
But
few
he
of the
loves
big
the
names into
position.
the pilot.
He loves his Star Wars. He loves his DC. He loves his Marvel.
Yeah.
He's actually claimed as much.
Well, yeah.
Very publicly.
Yeah.
So,
Mace Windu.
yes.
He's
So-
there.
And wants to respark that one.
He's the baddest
Well,
motherfucker in the
he made
sci-fi
this-
universe.
he has made a statement of like, even if he has to come back with a hand or an arm missing or a couple of legs, he'll still want to come back and carry on the Star Wars.
He's going to have a job doing that in episode 7, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a bit of a stretch.
They can always turn
He
up
said
as
no
the
matter
baddest
what.
motherfucking hologram in the Star Wars
Yeah.
universe.
But yeah, no, so S.H.I.E.L.D. is definitely...
I'm-
we're on TV now, I think.
Yeah.
And that's
Sorry,
cool.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
No.
TV.
The S.H.I.E.L.D. is definitely one to look forward to, which is good because we're losing
several
shows.
Yeah.
I mean, 666 Park Avenue got canned halfway through its first season.
Yeah.
I started watching that. The first 3 episodes had real promise, but then it just tried to do too much with something good.
Right.
But it made no play about being quite a supernatural show.
Mm.
It didn't hold back the secret of Terry Quinn's character. It sort of went out there with it. But just didn't hold up. And of course, Fringe.
Friday night.
Friday night's the finale.
That's it. It's gone. I'm really looking forward to the finale. The lead up to it has been brilliant.
Yeah.
It's just such a great show. I've loved some of the quirky episodes they've done. Are just such brilliant TV.
Yeah, I finally caught up with it and I saw the Black Blotter episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just going to miss that show. I'm going to miss such a strong sort of sci-fi presence on television.
Yeah. Because there isn't much left. We've lost Eureka.
We lost Eureka last year.
Sanctuary's not been renewed. What else have we lost?
Well, there is one Utopia. I've not seen it. It was aired last
Utopia
night.
started yesterday.
Utopia,
I missed it.
yeah.
I missed it, but that's
I've
coming.
not seen that, but lots of people
It
are saying it's
sounds
very good.
good, yeah.
Another good one is Continuum.
Yeah.
Now I have really
I've
enjoyed
that.
Continuum.
Yeah.
So
I've
I
only
think that's
seen
been
one
picked up
episode,
for a
but it was
second
good.
season.
That's good.
So as far as I know,
Yeah.
I might
I
be
think
wrong, but
I think the second
I
season
do
actually
like.
aired.
I do like the way that looks. I heard about it and went right. I'm going to give that a go, but I haven't been able to keep up with it.
I think it was only 10 episodes. I think
Yeah,
it was.
it's a
season
short
one.
first run.
Yeah, but yeah, that was really good.
That was
really
cool.
enjoyed
That
that.
was a good show.
So what else? We've lost Eureka. We've lost Fringe. We've lost
Sanctuary. We've gained Continuum.
I think Walking Dead's been picked up again.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones is back on our screens.
Oh, Game of
March.
Thrones, can't
Yeah.
wait. March.
So that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Fucking Game of Thrones.
It's going to be good. Well, we'll be seeing Rob Stark
Yeah.
and Jerome Flynn.
At the Sci-Fi
Weekender.
Sci-Fi Weekender, not the SFX.
Not the SFX Weekender
the
anymore, it's the
Sci-Fi
Sci-Fi Weekender now. But the big exciting TV news for me this year is Doctor Who, 50th anniversary. Can't wait to see what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looking
come on,
forward to that.
you've got to be
That's-
excited.
No, it's like, what are they going to do?
Well,
It's-
indeed,
yeah,
but I know one thing that is happening, and that's there's a 5-Doctor Big Finish audio play. So Tom Baker, Sylvester McCoy,
Yes.
Peter Davison,
Uh-huh.
I can't remember who else did it. 8th Doctor Paul McGann,
Again.
and I think Colin Baker as well. Yeah, I think all of them are doing a Big Finish audio multi-Doctor 50th anniversary, and they're getting loads of the past companions back. Leela's there.
Yeah. They're getting Mel back.
No, they're bringing Bouncy Mel back.
I think that's probably where my infatuation with Redhead started.
Really?
Yeah, possibly. If I was to pick a root cause for why I'm attracted to
Bonnie
Redheads,
Langford.
that's probably.
I was going to say, but that's
Probably.
Bonnie Langford, dude. Seriously, I hated Bonnie Langford's character.
Really?
The whole screaming.
She was
and
irritating.
Fucking shit.
See, I was when those were out. I was probably 6 or 7 when they were on TV. I mean, she was no ace.
Oh, God, no.
Sophie Aldred as an ace, she was
yes.
the bomb. She was awesome.
The weird thing about Mel as the character was that she turned up as a companion before she'd been a companion.
Yes.
Because she was in a random episode giving evidence at a trial of a Time Lord, and that was before she became a companion.
Indeed.
But talking of companions, Clara.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Stop touching my leg, Amy.
I'm interested to see where they go with this.
Yeah.
Are we going to get like a whole season of her dying every episode?
Yeah,
or-
that's going to annoy me.
Is she the new Rory?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The girl who died and died again.
I hope it doesn't suffer from riversongitis,
Yeah.
Yeah.
where because a really interesting character and then they're just not quite sure what the story is.
Yeah. Well, I think I've gotten a bit irked over this kind of new iteration of Doctor Who of the companions being like the most important thing in the universe.
Yeah.
There's like Rose looked into the time vortex and became all powerful, and the girl who waited and she's responsible for the Pandorica and
Yeah.
all of the companions have seemed to have this like Donna Noble. She is the Dr. Donna. all these epic plot lines around the companions. Can we not just have companions?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's. I think it's sort of the difference in the way that the show's written now as well. Before it used to be 6 episodes, 3 or 4 part episodes each, no overlying, no sort of overarching story from episode 1 to episode 6. It was just like individual stories.
Well, I mean, there were some that were like there was the Keys to Time, which was like that was a whole season. That was the one where Douglas Adams was the showrunner, and then Trial of a Time Lord. So there's a precedent for it.
But I don't know whether Moffat does that well enough. I think he does individual stories.
I think he does
brilliantly.
it better than Russell T Davies did.
Yeah.
Although Torchwood in a couple of episodes, and then an episode later, Torchwood. It's like, everybody's going, I don't know what this Torchwood is, but I'm just irked at it being name dropped in every episode now.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to not care what Torchwood is.
And is that the same for the Bad Wolf thing with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lone Wolf.
It was Bad
No,
Wolf.
Bad Wolf.
Bad Wolf.
It was Rose Bad Wolf. Yeah. So I'd like it to be just a normal companion, but obviously it's not going to be with this amazing regenerating, rejuvenating, reincarnating, whatever it is she's doing. Because historically speaking, the companion was there to take on the role of us as the audience, to have everything explained to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the point of the companion. That was to bring
like,
it to
you
our
stupid
level,
man, this
and
is
everything that
what's
the
going
Doctor explains to
Them.
the companion is explaining to us
Yeah.
within our sphere of understanding, and that worked great. And that kind of held true for a lot of the first season with Christopher Eccleston, and then it ceased being that way. And it just, yeah. So I don't know. I'd like to see it go back. I'd like to see a multi-Doctor episode, but I don't think it'll happen.
Really?
I really don't
think
think
it'll
so.
happen?
No, I mean, there are a multitude of ways they could do it, but I just think that a lot of the actors have got to the stage where they're happy to do the audio plays, but there's no way that they could sit and be them as the Doctor 20 years ago or whatever,
'cause
running
they're all
around and
fat
doing
and
stuff because they're
ugly.
all older. Well, I wouldn't go as far as saying they're all fat and ugly, but, you know,
They are. They are put on loads of weight.
I still think Sylvester McCoy could do it.
So I think Sylvester McCoy could. I mean,
Just
seeing
about.
him in action at the Sci-Fi Weekender last year, he was running around the audience with a microphone. He was brilliant. And seeing him running around in The Hobbit as well was just genius.
And I'd want him to come back because he was my Doctor.
Yeah.
I think I was watching Doctor Who, and he was the Doctor when I was old enough to understand what I was watching.
Yeah.
I say.
Peter Davison was mine, and he did come back for Time Crash, which is the Children in Need one.
Yeah.
So that was nice that my Doctor came back. But he's at the Sci-Fi Weekender.
He is.
So you're seeing Peter Davison,
Yeah. Who else have we got from Doctor Who?
Fraser Hines, and Ben Aronovich back
Yeah.
from writing.
Oh,
Remembrance
bless
of
him.
the Daleks.
He signed my DVD of that last year.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It was really cool.
Well, actually, speaking of shows, have you seen any of Elementary?
I watched the pilot. I watched the first episode.
It's rather good.
I really quite like
Yeah.
it. I've gotten into it.
I
Really?
don't
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the Dr. Watson, but then again, I've got a personal
Vendetta
issue.
against Lucy Liu.
I do, yeah. 'Cause I think she's fucking shit. Hey, I'm Lucy Liu. I'm going to be the same character in everything I do.
I saw the pilot.
I do love Johnny Lee Miller, and he's very, very good. As the series carries on, he's very, very good Holmes.
Okay, I'm going to have
He
to
is.
watch more then.
I think he's great, and I love the way they're doing it, and I'd
I
be
do
interested
like
to
it.
see what they come up with in terms of kind of ongoing who's going to play Moriarty, if they're going to get someone in for that. It's very different to Sherlock. You can't really compare the two.
Okay.
No.
So just take it as being completely different shows, because it's not set in London, it's set in New York.
Yeah.
He is British, but he's a recovering drug addict and stuff. It's a really good story.
Yes.
I really like Elementary. I think it's
It
done very,
works.
very well.
Okay, I'll definitely
It does work.
I'll definitely
But
persevere with it.
I am kind of.
But
I tolerate Lucy Liu just
Yeah.
because it's good enough to not make her a massively strong character to overpower it, which is nice because of being a big film actress that she is, could very well have done that. No, yeah.
Well, so
What did I
same thing
just
could have
say?
been said with Johnny
I
Lee Miller
fucking
coming
hate
into it.
Lucy.
Okay.
Yeah. Same thing could have been said with Johnny Lee Miller coming into it, but
He's not that
that's but I just
renowned or
well,
well
I
known.
don't, it's just
as
Hackers, and I
Lucy
just revere that film.
Liu. There you go. Yeah.
in my opinion, he could do no wrong.
Hackers and plug it in the
To be
clay.
fair, it's probably the biggest thing he's done since Hackers. or one of the better things he's done.
Funky and McLean, as we said, and he did a show that went on for 2 seasons, Eli Stone, and that was fabulous. Did either of you see any of that?
So is that the one with
the
lawyer with the bloke
with the aneurysm?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a brilliant series. It just George Michael just kept turning up in it randomly and singing. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
I really liked that show.
I managed to catch a few episodes. Didn't watch it religiously though.
I really liked it. I watched the whole of that.
I have too many shows that I do that with though, like Castle.
Yeah.
I watch every episode of that. That show is
and Mentalist.
The Mentalist.
Sorry, yeah. It's all along those sort of.
We're going to do the list now.
Yeah,
all this time, and there's Bones, NCIS, NCISLA.
Yeah.
So you've tuned in just to us list TV shows that we like.
Yeah, this is what we spend our time doing.
Shall we take a quick break with some music?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, and so for our music today, we have an Oxford metal band called Crysis. This is a track off their EP Defiant. It's called We Will Rise.
Fly,
So what have we got left on the agenda?
The agenda, which sounds so formal.
CCI's at
but
dawn.
as you mentioned agenda, I do have some talking points handily written out for us.
Cool. Okay.
Did you see the...
Are we back recording now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, so we're back after
we're
whatever.
back.
And we're back after whatever that was. That was awesome, kids. Go out and buy it. From your local HMV.
Or you can
Too
always rent it
soon.
from Blockbusters.
Too soon. I think so. Just as an aside, though, the HMV closing, it is a loss to the high street in terms of a brick and mortar store. But there's been really shameful stories of customers this week in Oxford giving the staff behind the counter shit. And I understand their frustration that their gift cards aren't working. It's the first thing that Deloitte sort of took off, so they can't use them. But it's not the staff behind the counter's fault. So I think...
No, it's not. No.
I think I said this on Twitter. I think if you are in HMV taking advantage of the closing down sales and their offers, don't be a dick to the staff.
In all fairness, give them a break. These people might be losing their jobs.
Yeah.
They are using it.
Well, we don't know yet because it's in administration. It
fair
may
enough.
well.
Yeah.
It's likely that it will survive in some way, shape, or form because it's responsible for a quarter of the entire sales of DVD and music in the country.
Yeah.
So the music industry and the film industry are going to jump behind it and do what they can to try and save something out of it. So I don't think HMV is going to be gone. I think it will be there still in some way, shape, or form.
I'm surprised Richard Branson hasn't bought it up.
Well, Virgin died years ago.
Yeah, I'm surprised Tesco haven't. Or a supermarket. They already have...
That's a good point. Sainsbury's and
there's
Tesco's
some
and
music.
Yeah.
Asda even have their own
Indeed.
CDs and videos and DVDs
What
and
I'd
stuff.
like to see out of it is I'd like to see... Again, it comes back to the point why we're doing this. I'd like to see in stores like that opinion from the staff. I would like the staff there to have a considered opinion on different styles of music and so forth. So I go in and go, I like this kind of thing. What do you
can you
recommend?
recommend?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a specialised service
Yes.
of people who are knowledgeable
Rather
about their
than
products.
T-shirts are over there.
Yeah.
CDs are there.
I think HMV and Blockbusters and so forth. I mean, Blockbusters not so much because I used to run a Blockbusters, and a lot of what I used to do there was I used to enjoy matching films to people.
Yeah.
I used to. I was very good at that,
Yes.
and so that I enjoyed doing that as a service.
So if
and
you
I'd
keep
like to
giving
see.
somebody porn, do you think they're a cunt?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, no, I keep giving them Will Ferrell movies, but
Nice.
And we're back in the room.
Sorry.
Now, a colleague of mine here actually wrote a really good blog article on the HMV at Collapse, and I'll put that in the link wherever we host this podcast. And he's of the same opinion that the personal service needs to be back in these sort of stores.
Yeah.
And he cites a truck store in Oxford as
Yeah,
an example
that's a great store,
of
yeah.
a store that works.
Yeah.
In terms of asking the customer what they're there to buy,
Yeah.
rather than selling them whatever you can.
Absolutely, and I think that's the way it should go, and it should be a specialised service for people who are interested in music and film. People who aren't necessarily interested in it and just want to get the latest thing, they can buy it in Tesco or Sainsbury's, and that's absolutely fine. So why not take it back to being a specialised...
Go buy it on iTunes with your fucking iPad.
a specialised retailer of people who are there to provide opinion and context in terms of the music and the films that you actually want to see.
Yeah.
I think that would be a bonus to come out of this.
Yeah, and I think the guys who are working at HMV want to do that, but the management is so
They're
insistent
so focused on bulk sales.
They are, yeah. The guys who worked upstairs, this is going back a couple of years ago, they were really cool. They really were into their film. They really were into their TV series, and they had it sorted. The anime section and the world section, they had it set up right. It wasn't, the one in Oxford wasn't as HMV Universal wanted it set out. They actually laid it out that worked. And the big bosses came in about 18 months ago. Well, no, you're a bunch of fucking retards. This isn't what we told you to do.
Yeah.
And it's bang. Their DVD sales dropped. Cause I know, because a friend of mine actually worked there until a few months back. And they said, yeah, when the managers told them to stop doing it and do it the way they told them to, their DVD sales went bombed.
Yeah. I think there's a great opportunity here now to do that. just to make it personal again and to provide a service and information on music and on film. I think it's a great opportunity to do that and to get rid of the bulk sales mentality. I'm not sure they can pull it off in the size of stores they've got now. I think they would probably have to downsize the stores,
right. Yes.
And certainly not have anywhere near as many staff, but provide training and give people the opportunity to listen to more stuff, take on opinions and so forth.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see that.
Yeah, no, I would as well. I mean, I've always wanted to either work in or own a record store like Empire Records.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't?
Yeah.
Who didn't want to at least set foot in that type of store?
Yeah.
Or even put up with the abuse from a Jack Black type character in a High Fidelity type store.
Absolutely.
You know, people who know their shit and are quite happy.
Even an earlier example is Tracks from Pretty in Pink.
Okay. You just out-nerded me.
That was one of mine. That was the record store in Tracks where...
Well, Empire Records is my
But it
favourite
was all
film,
based
so
around
that's
Virgin,
fine.
huh?
Empire Records.
Including Empire Records as well. It was kind of based around like Virgin Records stores.
Really?
Yeah, the idea.
Oh, I did not know that.
Apparently so.
High Fidelity.
I think it's a great film. But I think the thing to take from that is, if you're in a queue waiting to buy something at HMV and the guy in front of you is being a dick to the staff, when you get to the till, smile and just
be nice to them.
nice
They're
to
having a shit time.
Yeah. Where were we before HMV?
Sorry, that was just a quick rant about music.
No, I think
Price, I used to frequent before HMV. Sorry.
We were talking about whatever the musical interlude was,
Yeah.
and the fact that we're back.
Okay, I think we should make a concerted effort. We should make a concerted effort with this show then to put local music in as our music.
I think so. Local and independent music, because I mean, to be fair, I've bought music mainly at gigs recently.
Yeah.
I buy albums at gigs of the bands from the bands.
Yeah.
And that's how I've chosen to consume music recently, or funding through Kickstarter. I've funded the Amanda Palmer project through Kickstarter. So there are lots of ways to support independent music, and the more that people talk about it, the more people share it, the better it'll be.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, if you're in a band or you know a band,
Come, speak to us. We'll listen to it and maybe play it.
send a link to nerdvsworld@gmail.com and we'll put them in the show.
Indeed. Cool. So what are we on with now?
I don't know. Where were we? I mean, well, I've got a list here, and I've got Valve box written on my list.
Ooh, yeah.
So what we think about that? This is from CES.
Now, is that
The Consumer Electronics Show. There's a lot of cool stuff that's come out of that this time.
Yeah.
In my opinion, not the least being the Valve box.
It's called Project Bigfoot in house, I think, isn't it?
Yeah. Which I think is this the handheld one, or is this the
the handheld is the Nvidia.
Yeah,
handheld.
that's the Nvidia.
Yeah,
Steam.
the Valve box is the Steam box.
Yeah, which I think it's the right move for Valve to do, given the way Microsoft have locked down Windows 8.
Yeah.
I think it's very much a knee-jerk reaction to that, in terms of, well, if you're going to close off your environment to PC gamers, then we've got to give an option to take all your Steam purchases and play them somewhere. And I think this is the right move for Valve to be doing, to produce a box that it will just download all the content onto. Yeah. They've got complete autonomy over the operating system on it. They can do whatever they want, and then you'll just be able to play all your games on it.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I do think it's very cleverly done. And the fact that, the bog standard, I know it's in prototype at the moment, but the declaration that they made is that the bog standard format is going to come with a terabyte of memory, just as an outfall, because they know that it's for serious gamers.
Yeah, you'll have a load of games
aimed at them. Yeah. And people are going to need that sort of memory base with a quad core. Is it quad core they're running on?
I'm not sure what specs are of it, to be honest.
I thought it was quad core. They're going to run on there.
Yeah, likely, but to be honest,
it's not really that relevant.
It'll be the GPU in it that makes it what it is. But I mean, Valve, in my opinion, are making all the right moves at the moment. They've just released Steam for Linux, so they're going into that market as well. So I think they are branching out in the right direction. And to be honest, I think it's a great fuck you to Microsoft for trying to lock down their environment.
Yeah,
I think the way to go, because it's been long overdue, in my opinion. They should have been doing fuck you to Microsoft from day one.
They've got the customer base.
Yes.
I mean, who here doesn't have a library of games on Steam and then sit there and go, oh yeah, I fancy playing this today and download and install that.
I've not got a particularly large library of games on Steam, but I have got a library of them.
Mine's gradually growing.
See, I
50% off that, I'll have that.
I just kind of rate mine off your NAS drive.
Well, this is true. Yeah.
See, I tend to use a Mac for everything.
Yeah.
So there's not as many Mac options on the Steam.
Well, so there isn't for Linux either, but it will be getting bigger.
Yeah.
The fact that they've made inroads to doing it and they've actually got the client there, you've got games that you can download and play, it's only going to get better as time progresses, because that's always been the big thing that's stopped people using Linux more often is the support for gaming and 3D environments, because that's a very, very difficult thing for people to do the drivers for and reverse engineer them, and a lot of that NVIDIA, they're pretty good. They will release the drivers and everything for the open source community to use, which is great. But I think it's just the support needs to get better from the companies, and then in my ideal world, people will stop using Windows. I think one of the quotes I used to have on my desktop was, "In a world, what was it? In a world without walls, who needs windows and gates?"
Yeah.
Very good. I like that one. It's a very good quote. So we're excited for the Steam Box.
I'm very excited about it. I think it's a great move.
I'm also massively excited by the Illumina Room.
The Illumina Room looks amazing.
Looks the balls.
Okay, after we've just kicked Microsoft in the bollocks, we have to give them props.
Give them props for the Illumina Room.
But it wasn't a they kind of
stole
it.
It's a Samsung thing as well.
Yeah, it's a Samsung as well. Yeah. But basically, for those who haven't seen it, again, we'll include links to a lot of these things when we post the podcast up. But the Illumina Room takes gaming and kind of explodes it out of your computer by projecting it onto the walls in the rest of your living room. So if you're playing a first-person shooter, the entire environment will take up your whole room. It'll just project it. It just looks amazing. It turns your entire living room into a 3D cinema.
Yeah, it really, really does look like it would be amazing. But the only other worry with that is that it does the whole 3D thing with cinema, and games stop looking at storyline and gameplay and start looking at ways they can exploit the Illumina Room.
It becomes gadget-based rather than... Yeah. It's always a danger.
It would make a fucking awesome Time Crisis.
Yeah.
Fucking
it would, yeah.
They have Mario Kart as one of the examples on there, and I was like, racing game, that'd be cool.
Yeah, racing game
full immersion. I'm looking at sort of aeroplane.
Flight sims.
Flight sims.
Yeah.
Flight sims and space sims, where
Space sims,
the
definitely.
TV literally becomes your heads-up display
from
your cockpit window, and then everything else is the
but
entire room.
if you incorporate that with the NVIDIA controller with the head-up display on the actual controller in with the TV behind it.
Of course, the recently funded Elite Frontier, Elite Dangerous, on Kickstarter, which I did back.
There you go.
So, I think
all you need there is a nice cockpit ready fucking seat with surround sound speakers.
Speaking of which, brings one of the other things you posted, which is the home theatre systems.
All
the various people who've done home theatres based on like the kind of the Bridge of the Enterprise and Stargate themed and stuff. Awesome. That was awesome. It's not a living room; it's a proper screening room. There's like at least 8 to 12 seats in rows in the rooms, so it's a proper sit-down theatre.
Yeah. Essentially,
have they got a multi-screen like game, so you can like do multiplayer games?
It's not games. It's a cinema. It's essentially
just a screening room.
I'll put the link in the description of the show.
Yeah.
But it's people with so much money, they have built personal cinemas.
Yes.
Around a theme.
Yeah.
There's
in their homes.
Yeah. There's a Pirates of the Caribbean one.
Yeah, the pirate
which
ship.
The cinema seats have got little cannons for armrests, and the whole thing is the decking of a ship.
Cool.
There's a Star Wars one.
Yeah, there's a Star Wars one. There's a Stargate themed one. Yeah. There was 2 Star Trek. There was
the original
series and Enterprise
Next Gen.
D.
Right? Yeah, Next Gen. I was thinking
there was a Titanic one.
Yeah, the Western one was pretty cool as well.
The Western one, yeah.
But what would you have?
It's a fucking submersible bloody...
Well, there was a submarine.
There was a submarine one.
Somebody had done a submarine with all the just kind of the metal tubing around the room, so it looked like you were sat in a submarine.
I think if I was going to do one, it would have to be one of 2 options for me. I mean, the TARDIS is an obvious one, but that's mentioned in the article, so I'm not going to reference that one. But it'd either be Serenity.
Yeah, bridges are a bridge or
the mess
galley.
hall, the mess hall,
Yeah.
or a nice fancy setting pub.
Yeah,
where you can just watch a film with a flag and a veil.
Do you know what would work with that? If you actually had, a bench, two seats with a bench in front of you, so each set there, but in the middle there's a flagon, but with a beer tap on the actual table, and then cutaways with drop-in bowls, and it's got fucking like bacon, just bacon.
Bacon makes everything
a
better.
bowl of bacon.
To tie
and
up
a bowl
several
of
things
popcorn.
we've spoken about, we did that one Christmas day when I was running the Bullingdon. We had the entire back room of the Bully. We dragged the sofas in from the front room, put High Fidelity on the big screen, and had the whole club to ourselves.
Nice.
That was Christmas Day.
Was there bacon?
There was bacon, sausages wrapped in bacon.
Result.
Yeah.
There you go. Ale and bacon.
So, yes.
But yeah, I saw those and I was just like, I have to make myself all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Just so I can build one of these for myself. But what would I do? And it would be the mess hall from Serenity.
You'd do the mess
That'd
hall.
be. Because for those who don't know me, of all the fandoms that I ship, and I do worship quite a lot of them, Firefly is probably my ultimate one. I've inadvertently created a Firefly shrine.
All hail the browncoats.
Yeah. I've got the posters and I've got the books and everything, and the one clear flat surface is the only place I can put a candle, which just also happens to be the place where most of my Firefly stuff happens to be. So it looks like I've
subconsciously
built a shrine to Firefly. What else is on my list?
I see one on the list there that I do want to talk about, because I went and read this after you posted it. This is the whole Mars One thing.
Yeah.
Have you read up about this yet, AD? No, Mars One. Basically, there's a plan in place to send to start a colony on Mars, and it's in the Netherlands. And what they've done is they've got a ton of people working on it. One of which is a TV exec from the UK, and how they're going to fund this is they're going to do the entire thing as a reality show over the next 10 years. So they're going to pick, from the look of it, I thought originally they were planning on sending loads and loads of people, but no, they're going to select 4 astronauts, 4 people for the first mission, and they're going to film all their training and so forth. They're going to send them to Mars in like 8 years' time, and it'll take them a year or whatever to get to Mars, and then they'll set up on Mars, and then every 2 years they're going to send out another 4 people.
What for them to eat?
Well, I don't know. This is the whole thing.
They've all gone fucking cannibalistic psychos.
The more I sat and thought about it, the more I thought they might as well just make a 2-hour film.
They're fucking reavers!
Yeah, a 2-hour film of how it all goes horribly wrong and everyone dies.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's the plot from Firefly.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah. They're all going to turn into reavers and come back and fucking destroy the world.
I can't see any way that this could actually be successful. Yeah. Originally, I thought it was just it's a ridiculous way of making money through a reality show, but they've set it up as a not-for-profit foundation, so they're not actually going to be making any money out of it. So
it's still going to be funded, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's got to be funded.
Well,
they've got several sponsors. Like they're sponsored by people who do a 3D printer. So I'm assuming they're going to be using 3D printing to create a lot of the stuff for it. And the habitats that they're supposedly sending up are inflatable habitats.
Yeah, nothing could possibly go wrong.
I read through the mission briefing. I read through the tech that they're planning on seeing, and the more and more I read about it, the more of a calamity I thought it was going to be. And so they're opening applications for it, and anybody from the entire world can apply.
Now, it's funny you say that, because I was actually watching a programme not so long ago. I think it was, I believe it's Austria. I'm not entirely 100%, but it's definitely of, Northern Europe area. It could be Norwegian, could be Swiss. I'm not entirely sure, but they've actually developed a spacesuit for missions to Mars, which is a temperature-controlled type. Basically, it's like a fucking still suit from June.
Yeah.
But it's massively hard work. They're doing training on it now, and there's this guy. He's been their test pilot for it for like 2 years. It's been in development for 2-3 years, and like every day he's been going out in this fucking June area doing these fucking space tasks in his fucking desert somewhere in his fucking suit.
Well, it's the thing, because they're setting up like Mars simulation environments, and they're doing all sorts of stuff with it. So the more I read about it, the more I started digging into it, looking for something of it being a joke or some kind of elaborate hoax. But it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually.
Even the original article says you don't need to be a physicist or have any sort of scientific skills or even, a pilot or any useful skills.
No,
it's
indeed.
an open call for anyone to be an astronaut to Mars.
And your name's not on the list?
In my mind, I think it's got to be some kind of elaborate setup for a long-running reality show. They're not actually going to go to Mars.
No, they'll put them in a...
Well, they're going to Capricorn 1 it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because why else would...
That'd be funny as fuck.
I kind of get using reality TV as a model to pay for it, but it seems too fishy.
Yeah.
That they're just going to lock 4 people away for 2 years in a box.
Yeah. With an inflatable bouncy castles.
Because the reality of the situation is just unthinkable. If they actually do fire 4 people into space and we just watch them die. It's insane. But I implore anybody to go out and look into it and just see what's going on.
Or if you're really that fucking mental,
then
sign up.
Yeah.
Sign up.
They appear to be taking
We'll
anyone.
back you.
Yeah. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Vote people off the planet.
I'll tell you what,
Katie Price.
Davina McCall is going to be hanging,
You've
waiting for people to get evicted.
Which one do we kick out the airlock today, folks?
Oh, but that's the Doctor Who one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't believe we've come back to Doctor Who, and AD was eating his beard last time we spoke about Doctor Who, so we should probably move on.
All right, okay. Before he inhales himself.
Procrastinated.
Okay, we've talked about films, we've talked about TV shows. I actually happen to watch a lot of stuff on YouTube nowadays.
Okay.
I think YouTube's becoming a really great source for creative content.
It has.
The Geek and Sundry channel is amazing.
Yeah, I watched Geek because Neil's Puppet Dreams is a favourite in my household.
That's on the Nerdist.
Yeah, Nerdist, yeah. Sorry.
But Tabletop on.
Tabletop, it's great. Sorry,
awesome show. I
Tabletop is fantastic. It's just how to bring tabletop gaming into modern day kicking and screaming. I love it. I play a lot of tabletop games, so it's great to see Will Wheaton nerding out, and
it is fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of webisodes, Mortal Kombat is coming up into
second season. Yeah.
Legacy Season 2.
Yeah.
I really like what he's done with the Mortal Kombat universe. I really do like it.
Cool.
The first season was awesome. And it had Jerry Ryan in the pilot.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong.
Casper Van Dien's in it now, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. In fact, the original Shang Tsung? No.
No.
But the original, the Shang Tsung from the Mortal Kombat film is in it.
Yes, he is, but
So
not playing the same character.
No. So, but no, what he's done with that series is really cool.
But is it Scorpion or Sub-Zero in the film, and from the was it Rising? What was the first one?
I think it was just called Legacy, wasn't it? It was just Mortal Kombat Legacy.
I don't remember.
I can't remember. I think it was Legacy and this one's Rising. Something like that.
Okay, maybe.
They've got 2 separate kind of names, but it's Legacy Season 2. But yeah, he's been continual. It's same character, or
cool.
same guy playing the same character.
Because the Sub-Zero and the Scorpion fights from the first season were awesome. They were really good, and that's really. I mean, that's where I see a lot of these sort of niche franchises going.
Well, a lot of them are going like that because there's Star Trek stuff being made as well.
Yeah, there is. There's like Starfleet Academy type thing, isn't there?
Yeah, well, yeah, but there's a.
Is this from the new franchise of Star Trek?
No, it's one that's been funded through Kickstarter again. And
God, I love Kickstarter.
It's got people. It's got like Walter Koenig involved and other people like that. So there's original Star Trek. Not characters, but cast members.
Is it based around Next Generation, or
I think
it's sort of Next Generation Voyager area?
I think it's Next Generation, and it's a fan-funded flick thing. I didn't read the exact details of it, but it's gone into production. There's been some already produced, and then there's more going into production now.
Awesome. I want to find that.
So there appears to be more Star Trek on the cards. It's not kind of official TV show. It's fan produced, but
Yeah.
it gets a lot of the original Star Trek cast back into it as well from the various incarnations of Star Trek. So there's some people from Next Gen. I think Robert Picardo's back in it as well. I think.
God bless him. He gets around.
Yeah, he just likes being involved in shit. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, fanfic, take me.
He's finally got to Twitter though as well. I think.
Has he?
I think he is now on Twitter.
God bless him. He's brilliant.
And that character, that Doctor, was awesome.
Yes.
One of the best characters in Voyager, I think. There's the cantankerous nature of him.
One of the only good characters in Voyager. But one of the only good things about Voyager.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like
Yeah,
Voyager.
well, I mean, you've both got two other things from Voyager on your mind. But
Yeah,
Jenny Ryan tweeted me.
did she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I was about to say, what was that? Was that you have been summoned to court?
Who is this? Who is this? Please cease and desist. No.
Please stop sending me naked pictures of your elbow.
No, she actually not that. She actually genuinely she did tweet me. One of the happiest days of my life got tweeted by Jerry Ryan. I think she put up a link to a Twitter handle called Drinking at Work. And I started following them, and I just spent hours just reading through their tweets and just pissing myself laughing because they were funny. I just tweeted, thanks to Jerry Ryan, I am now following Drinking at Work. Can already feel productivity dropping. And she just tweeted back, ha! Exclamation mark. I was just like, it's one word and exclamation point.
Yeah,
Doesn't
Jerry
matter,
Ryan
it
tweeted
still
you going,
counts.
she's just made my life.
yeah,
I'm
that
a happy
how
nerd.
you'll get the rip through soon.
I think I wrote a blog about it that was longer than the tweet.
It wouldn't have to be longer.
But, you know, you hang on to all the small victories, don't
Absolutely.
you? Rule 32, enjoy the little things. Anyone famous tweeted you? You don't really tweet much, do you?
No.
No.
Well, I've spoken to quite a few people on Twitter.
Oh, actually, there has.
Kevin Smith.
They're not famous as such. It's
No jealous.
it's a band from Japan. They started following me because I found their singer because I wanted to ask them for permission to play one of their songs on one of my Summer Knives Wonkycast. And they started like tweeting things to me in Japanese, and I'm like, guys, I'm English, what the hell? And it's like, oh, welcome, so glad you like us. You seem like a cool guy. I'm like,
Awesome.
okay.
I love how they managed to get the accent on Twitter.
It was awesome, wasn't it? It's the way it was written in what do they call it? It's like pidgin English.
Yeah.
So it's actually written in Japanese.
So you got tweeted by Kevin Smith?
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else. I've forgotten his name now. A guy who writes the new Doctor Who comics.
Tony Lee.
Yeah, Tony Lee. Yeah.
He was a dude, though. Tony Lee was
Yeah.
outstanding at the SFX weekend last
Sci-Fi
year.
Weekender, yeah. Fortunately, I don't think he's going this year because it's Sci-Fi Weekender rather than SFX Weekender. So I don't think he's going. Which is a shame.
It's a shame because he was on some good panels. The writing a story, flash fiction panel, that was brilliant.
Yeah.
I think I fell in love with Stacia Kane.
Yeah, she was very
was
good,
just
Stacia
awesome.
Kane. Yeah. A lot of good authors there last
Yeah,
year.
it really was.
China Mayville among them.
Is he back for this one?
Don't think he's back this time. No. Which is a shame because I wanted to congratulate him on Dial H, the new comic series he's written, which is fantastic. It's a DC New 52.
Oh, okay.
It took the place of one of the ones that got cancelled, and it's now up to issue 7 or 8 now.
Nice.
On the subject of comics, DC Universe Presents is biting the dust, which was one that just had kind of feature episodes every week, so every month. It just had a couple of ones. It started out with the Dead Man story and then did Guardians of the Universe and a couple of other things. So that's dying, and there's a few more coming in to replace it, chief amongst which is the new Constantine, which starts in March.
Excellent.
Because the original Hellblazer's finishing on issue 300, so they've got 3 issues of that to go. One just came out this month, and we've got 2 more.
I was going to say they're not calling it Hellblazer; it's going to be called Constantine.
I don't know what it's. I think it's just going to be called Constantine because they brought Constantine in line with Justice League Dark, which is one that I've been reading because that's Constantine, Zatanna, Deadman, Shade the Changing Man. A few other people kicking it. But it starts out with
Rorschach.
it starts out with Justice League turning up and getting their asses kicked because it's magic. So Superman gets his ass kicked by magic, And so they go, right, we can't deal with this, so send Zatanna in, and Zatanna gets everybody else involved, and they start going up against all the magic ones. Another one, which is Vampire, is another one that's being cancelled. So there's quite a few being cancelled out of New 52, but
I hadn't heard about the Constantine.
yeah. So Hellblazer finishing issue 300, and then he's going mainline
Solo.
DC, so he's not going to be Vertigo anymore. He's
Really?
his main universe.
Oh wow, okay, that is quite a
That's
shift.
just,
Yeah, so because he moved into the main universe with New 52, and now he's getting his own book as well.
Book. Okay, yeah.
So intriguing times ahead for Constantine.
Good luck, John Constantine.
We'll see how he gets on.
I think I might have to start buying that book.
Yeah, it starts in March. I want to see how they're going to wrap up Hellblazer first.
Yeah.
It deserves a send-off because it's been one of my favourite comics for many, many years, Hellblazer. So we'll see. But yeah, that was just some comic-related news.
I think if there's a show for it, this is it.
Absolutely.
So,
I don't know, have we got anything else? Or are we wrapping up? What
else have I got here? And I've got like...
the fun bit to end off with. Yeah.
The White House.
This is not the petition response you're looking for.
Responding to the Death Star petition.
Yeah, he's got the whole of Hellblazer from me. Yeah.
That was a great
That was
story.
fun.
Brilliant.
So, what was it? Something like 40,000 people in America had put in a petition to the White House to build a Death Star.
Based on the creation of the jobs that it would create and the security of the
and the
nation.
income.
Yeah.
And,
Security of the nation, was it?
Yeah.
but bless them, the response was funny, and I'll link to the response so you can read it in full. But the thing that I really liked about it was the way that they ended it by saying, if you focus on your sciences and your maths,
Yeah.
there's no reason that something like this can't be done.
Well, that was it. I mean, they basically went, okay, we're not going to do it because the costs associated with building it are astronomical, and we've kind of got other things to spend our money on. Plus, we don't really want to be seen to be the administration that goes around blowing up other planets.
Yes.
and then there was just stuff like, but we'll kind of put money into the technology going to make Luke's hand and things like that. I loved all the references back to the Star Wars universes. It was a very, very clever response.
It really was. I enjoyed reading it just for that. Just that they've put some thought into this.
Yeah, they really did. It wasn't just a kind of blow them off.
I think it was actually the chief administrator guy that actually wrote that. It wasn't just his secretary. He actually thought long and hard about that and went, fair play to him.
There's a massive kudos to someone for doing that.
Yeah.
And what was the reference to Obama being like one with the Force and shit like that? I was like, fucking, what? It was pretty cool. It worked well with the letter, but it was like, Obama is at peace with the Force and is much to do with the skills of the Jedi. I'm like, what? What the fuck?
I thought it was very, very well
be
done.
another
It
Mace
made me
Windu.
smile
Yeah.
that they would take time to respond to it in that way without being pretentious about it.
Yes,
I know. And it was aspirational in the tone.
It was, I think it very much did kind of say, if you work hard at stuff, then we could see a universe like that happening and all these possibilities. It was, really good. I think they were talking about the basically building things that are like AT-ATs, I think were referenced in it as well.
All train walkers were mentioned in
They
it.
were.
Yeah.
What was the there was another one to do with that. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what was actually. It was just the line just before the walkers. They'd actually mentioned some kind of tech. It wasn't Luke's arm. It was something.
Well, it'll all be in the
It
podcast
will
though,
be,
so we'll sort it and you can go and have a look at it yourselves.
Brain parts today.
And all the derpy derps.
Yeah. So I think that about wraps us up for the first one then, chaps.
I think it does. Thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you very much. So I've been Spindles.
I've been 80.
And I've been Brendan. Thanks for listening.
Peace out, everyone. Do you want to do your sign off?
You know the drill. Until next time, take care and be excellent to each other.